by way of an agenda, we will dive into some introductions. We'll talk about this partnership with Texas A&M and Pathstream, get into the particulars, sort of who, what, when, where, why of the certificates, dive into a platform demo so you'll actually get to see what it's like to go through a course in the Pathstream platform, and then finally leave some time for Q&A. So introductions.
All right, so hi, my name is Naomi Rockhold. I'm a program coordinator for the Reynolds & Reynolds Sales Leadership Institute, which is partnering with Pathstream for these courses. My personal background, I have been with the business school for about 4 years, and before that I was with public education. At Mays, I have mostly worked with professional communication and the community service programs that sales runs, among many other programs. So.
Thank you so much for being here, Naomi. And this partnership is, super important to us between Texas A&M and Pathstream. So it's great to have you.
Thank you.
So to give you some context about me and my role at Pathstream, I'm currently a technical learning designer on the Pathstream team. Before that, way before that, I started out as a college physics professor, got very interested in education and educational technology, went back to school for a degree in educational technology, and then built massive online courses for MIT for another year. Then I was recruited by Microsoft to work on their STEM skills and employability team, and how that's relevant to my current role and what I really think about all day, every day at Pathstream is, what are the skills that folks need to take the jobs that are currently being unfilled, which is to say, we know that there is a skills gap. There are more technical jobs available than the people qualified to fill those jobs, which is part of the reason that we're here today. So what are the skills that people need to be able to take those jobs, to have success? So to get into our partnership and why we partnered, how we partnered, I'll hand it over to Naomi.
All right, so let me start with just a second about who we are at Reynolds & Reynolds Sales Leadership Institute. So we are part of Texas A&M University and Mays Business School. It's an organization that has we are charged with sales education for the entire university, and skill development, not just the College Station campus and not just business school students. And so we have this very broad, if it's about sales, we're in it. We define our mission fairly broadly. We have a ton of programs and that have a very wide range of targets. We have some programs that are designed to help introduce 7th grade students to business concepts, all the way up to executive education programs for senior industry leaders. And so there's just a very broad range of students and learners and research and industry professionals that we are able to impact with our work here at the Institute. So why we partnered with Pathstream? We have started this partnership so that we can deliver these professional development programs to early to mid-level professionals. It's kind of where we've targeted it. The skills developed here are that we believe will be developed through these certificate programs are skills we really believe will benefit sales professionals as well as those in a wide array of roles and industries. One of the things we say in my program or in our organization is that sales skills are skills for life. Like they are problem solving and communication and these really broadly applicable skills that will help you no matter where you are. We chose Pathstream particularly because of the quality of their program content and their very solid model of content delivery. Since we began our partnership, 3 different members of our staff have taken 3 different courses that we have partnered to offer, and they have found that they were solid, high rigor and content, just a really, really great, everything that we had hoped for from this partnership. And so the certificate programs that we're offering, we collaborate with industry experts, Asana, Tableau, Facebook, and Salesforce. And I think Brooke will get into that in more detail here in a minute. But we partner with them to bring subject matter expertise and practical real world experience to these programs, because that's what we feel like is one of our charges, is to make learning as applicable as possible. So our goal at Texas A&M is to provide students with the right tools and credentials to achieve their desired career outcomes. So hopefully that's why you're here, and that's why what we're going to help you with. And that's who we are, and why we're partnering with Pathstream.
I really appreciate that endorsement, talking about how folks on, your own team have taken some of our courses.
Mm-hmm.
And it speaks to the quality of what we're delivering here, and level setting. All these points are really important to the entire presentation today. So you basically outlined everything we're going to talk about.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So to get into, as I mentioned before, the skills gap is really what we're talking about, and a common goal, a common mission that Naomi mentioned of the two organizations is to afford folks these digital skills to be successful in careers. And we know that, middle skills jobs are increasingly requiring software skills, becoming more and more digitally intensive. And the good news about that is that these jobs are better compensated and, offer greater opportunity for career advancements, promotions, more career advancements in terms of being able to really move up the career ladder and have a very solid career trajectory. Today, we will talk about 4 different pathways that are research-based. We've really taken the time to go out there and look around and see where are the real opportunities around digital skills that we can build programs to support students to get into these areas. So Facebook Digital Marketing Certificate, Salesforce Administrator Career Certificate, Asana Project Management Certificate, Tableau Data Analytics Certificate. And I do want to emphasize, the Facebook, the Salesforce, the Asana, the Tableau, these are tools that you will use in these areas. So it's not just that we're giving you information, you are going to get to practice with real world skills in authentic tools that you would use in these jobs. As I said, one important feature of our online learning platform is tool-based learning. So you get to use real tools in service of learning how to do these jobs. You use these tools in the context of a hands-on lab environment, which I will demo for you in real time. You'll get to see what the Asana project management content looks like. And these labs are meant to be very scaffolded experiences. So we have lessons, we have labs in the platform that you go in, you engage with content, you learn, and then you apply those skills. And we do it in a very scaffolded fashion. So we're going to pop open a lab later and you get to see that scaffolding that we really support you in your learning. Those skills will then be applied to projects. So you're going to work through a certain amount of content, and then when it's appropriate, you work on a project that you then turn in and get personalized feedback from an instructor, which again is a really important piece of this whole model where you're not just working online in isolation, you do have support from an instructor. Each of these certificates involves 3 courses preparing you for a growing career area, and another important aspect being that certificate at the end. You will get a certificate from the Reynolds & Reynolds Sales Leadership Institute at Texas A&M. So your skills are validated by an important organization, a good proof point for future employers. In addition, we provide career services at no additional cost, and I will get into what exactly that means. Career services team, throughout the first 2 courses, will provide you weekly with a newsletter, targeted job opportunities, and other important career information to you. From another perspective, the curriculum you're engaging with, and I can say this being a part of the learning design team, is career aligned. We work really hard to make sure what you're doing in the platform is effective and efficient in terms of preparing you for whichever career area you've indicated, whichever certificate you're pursuing. You can be assured that we are constantly working to make sure it's career aligned, up to date, and really efficient. During the final course is really when career services kicks in. We have an entire team that will work with you on things like a resume and a LinkedIn profile, career coaching, networking support. You can see there's a whole list of items. And we know from alums of the certificate programs that it's very effective, that folks that work with career services teams do find really good opportunities. So the program's overview, I won't read to you all the bullet points on this slide, but suffice it to say, a couple important points. One, we have partnered to bring you programs that involve important tools, right? So if you're a digital marketer, you absolutely need to understand Facebook Audience Insights, Facebook Ads Manager. We've partnered with Trailhead, which is the Salesforce education platform, basically, to bring you the knowledge and skills to be a Salesforce administrator. The Asana project management certificate, I'm going to actually show you a demo of the first course in that certificate today. You will cover all the fundamentals of project management, project plans, risk mitigation. You're going to do that in the context of Asana, which is a really important tool that many project managers use. The Tableau data analytics certificate, again, Tableau, really important tool for data visualization, used very widely. And of course, in that data analytics certificate, you will use things like data synthesis, spreadsheets, MySQL. If you don't know what that tool is, that's okay. It's managing databases, and we'll get into a little bit more details about that as well. Program details, each of these certificates involves 3 courses, and they range from 18 to 27 weeks, 27 being the data analytics program. We provide you a schedule to help you stay on track. However, it is flexibly paced in that there aren't any lectures or specific times you have to sign on. We know that you have busy schedules, and we want to provide for that. In addition, though, you're not, again, on your own. You do have a dedicated instructor, and that instructor is available for questions, project support, assessment purposes. So you'll be in communication with that instructor, and that instructor will support you as you move through the courses. When you finish, again, just want to reiterate, you're going to get that certificate that's branded from the Reynolds and Reynolds Sales Leadership Institute at Texas A&M, a proof point that you have been validated by an important institution. So it's great that Zora and Naomi and I get to come talk to you today about this program that we love so much. But in addition, we love to be able to share with you some of the feedback that we have received from alums who, appreciate the program as well. I won't read the testimonials, but I'll let you take a moment and look over some of the comments that we received. So as someone on the learning design team, it really makes me happy to see that the feedback is consistent with our design practices. We really, again, want to make these learning experiences as effective and efficient in, facilitating these skills for folks. And so when someone says this course is nothing like a textbook, that's great. It's not meant to be like a textbook. It's meant to be a hands-on project-based learning experience for you, and to see that people really understand that and appreciate that is gratifying. I have to say, my favorite comment, there is no fat, it's all meat. Again, it's meant to be very efficient. It's by design. So to dive into some of the particulars, we'll talk about each of the certificates and give you a brief overview, starting with the Tableau Data Analytics certificate. We have done research to identify key skills, job pathways, so that we could build these certificates to address those, to help people into these careers. In terms of industry data, we're looking at on the order of 1 million job postings for analyst roles. Right, so big opportunity here, 30% growth in jobs requiring Tableau skills in the next decade. It's a growth opportunity. If you would anecdotally go to your favorite website, LinkedIn, Indeed.com, sort of do a search on Tableau or do a search on data. There are so many jobs that don't even are non-analyst roles that need analytical skills, that mention data as an important skill to have. So increasingly, jobs that aren't even technically analyst roles actually require data skills. In terms of, after taking this certificate, if you're going to pivot into a new job, maybe you're going to pursue an entry-level job if you're new to the field of analytics. Maybe you're going to apply your analytics skill set to your current job, pursue a promotion. You will also be prepared for the Tableau Desktop Specialist exam. So these are all important points with respect to what you can expect after the certificate. Here are the 3 courses involved in the Data Analytics Career Certificate. Course 1, we start you out with the basics, with the fundamentals. If you've never used a spreadsheet before, no problem. We're going to help you learn how to use a spreadsheet. If you know about spreadsheets, great. That will just facilitate the process even further. By the end of that course, you're going to be representing data and insights in charts and tables. You're going to do a full data analysis, exploratory data analysis. And the reason I bring that up is that this project-based learning with hands-on tools is meant so that by the end of the course, you actually have something, a deliverable that you have built that you can take away and add to your portfolio, or multiple items that you can add to your portfolio as artifacts of authentic work practices, things that you would do authentically as an analyst. That second course I mentioned a little bit before, MySQL is the tool you would use. So SQL, also pronounced as SQL, is a language. It's a structured query language, to be specific, but it's you will code in service of utilizing databases. So it makes sense that if you're going to manage data, you have to understand managing databases, and this course is all about that. By the end, you will have good familiarity with SQL and managing databases. Third course is all about data visualization. It's what the certificate is named for. The Tableau tool is really what you're going to learn, and by the end of the course, you will definitely be creating and designing visualizations, dashboards, stories, things that are authentic to the practices of a data analyst. Getting into our next certificate, the Salesforce Administrator Career Certificate. So Career Outlook is very good here. We're talking millions of job postings and robust growth. If you were to do a search, you would see that non-CRM roles increasingly need people with CRM skills. Let me pause for a moment and tell you what CRM is. Maybe you don't know Salesforce. Salesforce is a customer relationship management software. So as a Salesforce admin, what you do is you manage customer data through the Salesforce relationship management suite of software. And as you can imagine, every business has customers. And so managing that customer data is important to any and every business, which an increasing fraction of businesses are using Salesforce to give you sense of scale. Salesforce considers their biggest competitor Microsoft. So think about how prevalent Microsoft is in the world, and that'll give you a sense of how big Salesforce is. In terms of what industry uses Salesforce, if you do a search on jobs, you'll see that there are CRM jobs or Salesforce jobs across all different industries that have businesses that have relationships with customers. So to go back here, once you're finished with the certificate, we see folks who go into lots of different roles, a couple of titles: Salesforce administrator, sales representatives, but again, increasingly more jobs are looking for this skill set, and they may not be specifically for Salesforce admins or sales representatives. We know lots of folks who have this skill set who just level up in their current role, maybe get a promotion. After the certificate, you will be prepared for the Salesforce administrator credential by Trailhead. So again, that exam, that proof point that would valid for future employers, in addition to this branded certificate. In terms of courses, we are going to start with the fundamentals. So we assume no experience with Salesforce, and we're going to take you into just the basics. What Salesforce is, what it does, how to use it. By the end, you will be building reports, charts, and dashboards. Again, authentic artifacts of work you would do as an admin. Into that second course, which is layering on. Now that you understand Salesforce, we're going to introduce you to the functions of being a Salesforce admin. So you're going to extend your understanding of Sales Cloud features. You're actually going to design and build Salesforce apps, and you will get to configure reporting tools, right? So functions that are authentic to being an admin. And then that third course is really just layering on even more knowledge to really prepare you in the advanced topics, things that you would do that are in the advanced bucket as a Salesforce administrator. So you're going to come out of the certificate with a lot of knowledge, a lot of practical knowledge, a lot of skills in applying, utilizing Salesforce, being prepared for that Salesforce admin role. The Asana Project Management Certificate. So again, many jobs available, lots of growth. And if you think about project management in general, what job would not benefit from project management skills? So widely useful set of skills. In terms of particular jobs, maybe you want to be a project manager or a project coordinator, but there are lots of jobs that may not even be specifically project management that would benefit from this set of skills. This is going to prepare you for the CAPM exam, associate and project management exam, recognized globally. And again, in addition to your certificate, branded from the Reynolds and Reynolds Sales Leadership Institute, really great launch, really great support of your skills, validation for future employers. The pattern here again, laying the foundations of project management. By the end of the first course, you will have prepared a project charter. You will create a stakeholder register. You will create a scope statement. So again, these are all things that are deliverables that you would do in real life, and you will have them in your portfolio for future jobs. Second course is really getting more into the tools. You're going to use Asana. You may not know what Asana is, but that's okay. We're going to talk a little bit more in the demo about Asana, but we don't assume any knowledge with Asana or Google Sheets for that matter. But you will use Google Sheets, and you're going to develop a communication plan, project kickoff, etc. So things that you can take with you into a project management job context. Finally, that third course is really taking it to the next level. So, risk management is important for project management broadly. So important that we've carved out an entire course around that. Finally, the Facebook Digital Marketing Certificate. Here, I want to highlight that you can see the opportunity numerically around the number of jobs and the growth in terms of digital marketing skills. You may not know that over half of all marketing money in the US is going to digital marketing. Probably makes sense though, if you think about how much of our lives that we live in the digital spaces now, that half of the money in marketing is going towards digital marketing. So a really valuable set of skills to have. In the first course in this certificate, we're just going to lay foundations. So you may not know anything about marketing, and that's fine. We're going to expand your knowledge from the ground level up. So by the end, you will have performed a SWOT analysis. You will have built brand positioning maps, identifying market segmentation. And what I want to say about this course is you will build a campaign. So all of these concepts are in service of building an actual campaign. And in that second course, you're going to analyze the campaign, analyze the goodness of the campaign, again, using Google Sheets. So you're going to use authentic tools, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and you'll do things like A/B testing, calculating KPIs, looking at Google Analytics. So really estimating the impact of the campaign you built in that first course. Third course, social media marketing. And again, this is a concept that's so important. We built an entire course around social media marketing. Of the money that's going into digital marketing, there's a good proportion of it that is going into social media marketing. I'm sure you can appreciate that. So we'll get into a platform demo here. Before I do that, I just want to remind you, as you have questions, please go ahead, feel free to enter any questions you have into the Q&A while I pull up that second window to give you a demonstration of our platform. Here I have the first course in the project management certificate. We are going to set up, so the very first module here just takes you from the basics. So orientation and setup. We're going to tell you how to navigate the Pathstream platform. As I click a topic, you can see the lessons drop down. Also, times are indicated. As we mentioned before, this is flexibly paced program. You fit it into your life as it makes sense. And so what we want to do is give you the tools just to manage your time. So we'll give you some time estimates. You can decide when you have time to actually tackle the content. We get into, after how to navigate the platform, what is project management? And then we're going to work with you to set up Asana. And if you don't know what Asana is and you don't have an account, that's no problem. You'll get one with as part of your certificate. And in fact, there's a button here if you need help with Asana. But let's get into this lesson so I can show you what a lesson and a lab looks like. So this is the getting started with Asana lesson. As I scroll through, what you'll see is by design, we have a lot of clickable links in here. After a little bit of text, we're going to jump into a video. What we want is we want to provide you with that efficient experience where we're giving you a lot of engaging content. We've got drop downs, a video recap. We have tooltips, so you can hover over a tooltip and see an important definition, for example. So all of this is meant to be engaging and keep you interested and engaged with the platform. As I scroll down even further, we've got some very precise instructions to download the Pathstream app. When I click on the lab, it will open the Pathstream app, so you'll be able to see what that looks like. We have a video that tells you exactly everything you need to know for logging into Asana, as well as, again, a drop down that helps you understand how to log into Asana. This is our first lab. So you'll see right away that we also have the steps that go into this lab. So before you click into lab and you're just sort of not sure what's happening, we're going to tell you exactly what's happening. The point of this lab are these 5 items. And if you have any trouble, we've already addressed that with a troubleshooting drop down. So again, meant to be very user-friendly and approachable. When I launch this lab, it's going to open the Pathstream app. So at the very top, you'll see that the lab is divided into steps. Here there are 6 steps, and these windows along the left-hand side are meant to complement the lab that is in the main part of the window. I will launch the lab here. So on the right-hand side, what you see is that Asana pops up. And again, this is part of the tool-based learning you get to do. I have signed into Asana already, but had you not signed in, you would get a pop-up that is the original window, and you get prompts to log in. And these steps over here are meant to tell you everything you need to know to complete this lab. You'll see that there are special notes in here. There are GIFs in here. We want to make sure that you know exactly what to do, how, and why. So it tells you exactly how to open the team settings. You get pictures that are very clear about what to do in the platform in the main window. So it's meant to be very straightforward and take you step by step and provide you with all the guidance you need to be successful. Now, I have mentioned that this is project-based, and I want to show you what that looks like. if I go back to the main page, we were just in section 1, but there are multiple sections. And if I scroll down to this third section here, this third module, here we have an experiential assessment. So you will have worked through enough content to really be ready to practice this in a project. And this experiential assessment is that project. So again, going to open the Pathstream app. The window opens. Please forgive my slow internet this evening. Immediately you get a project overview. So we want you to feel very comfortable with what this project entails, what you'll be doing and why. We even provide a video for you for that walkthrough. You get a roadmap of what you're doing in the course, where you are in the course. And then you can click to start the project. What you notice is the project pops up much like it looks very reminiscent of the lab that you just did, because you are practicing the skills that you were using in the lab. So you're going to actually complete tasks in Asana, and the experience will be the same. So we scaffold your experience here, maybe a little less instruction because you're actually practicing with the skills that you already learned. But nonetheless, it's still very guided. You get to work through an experience that is similar to the lab and to complete the project, and then you will submit the project, which will be assessed and returned to you with feedback. And again, that becomes part of your professional portfolio, evidence of skills that you've learned in Asana.